Welcome back to the show. The home renovation show starts today. They open at noon, and if you want to find out about everything there is to know about home renovations, it is the place to be. It's happening all throughout the entire weekend, and we are joined by Mo Abbas. He's the owner of Ottawa General Contractors. Mo, welcome to the show. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
And it's true, Mo. I mean, no matter what kind of renovation you're going to do, this is really the best show to go in town.
Right. It is definitely because, unlike the other shows, it focuses specifically on home renovation.
Right.
There's a lot of big shows, the Home and Garden show, huge show, much more attendance, more exhibitors, but none of them focus on home renovations like the show this weekend.
Right, and you're actually saying that today is probably the best day to go for those who are planning on seriously doing something with their home.
Well, I mean, Friday nights, when you go on a Friday to a renovation show, a lot of people get off work, they don't want to go to the show. So if you have a big reno and you happen to have the time, now is a good time to go today, because you can spend more time with the people there. They'll give you more time, you get some more information without the hustle and bustle of the weekend rush.
Right. Yeah, because a lot of people on Saturday sort of kicking the tires, as you explained during the break. And so if you have plans, like some major plans, bring your plan with you, go tonight. And of course, you can go throughout the entire weekend. Well, we wanted to pick your brain when it comes to home renovations. You've done many over the years. What sort of trends are you seeing, first of all, moving into 2013?
You know, there's simple trends and there's big trends. The simple trends, like I'm seeing more fireplaces, I'm seeing a lot of open concept kitchens. But on the overall mindset of renovations, we're seeing a lot more large scale design and build renovations.
Really?
Yes, we're finding a lot of homeowners are looking at the option of moving or renovating, and a lot of people are designing their homes to their lifestyles instead of changing their lifestyles to suit their homes.
Right.
So that's actually a big shift we're seeing, is designs coming out. Everyone wants to get a big design. They want to design their homes to their lifestyle. They have kids. They have an elderly at home. They have, they're pregnant. They need more space.
Right.
Or they just want a modern look and they can't find anything. And if they find something, they have to renovate it anyways. So they're like, you know what, forget it, guys. We're going to be here for the next 5-10 years. Real estate only goes up at the end of the day.
Right.
I'll go over some good returns on investments as well.
Right, yeah. So let's talk a bit about that, because when should people decide to renovate versus move?
Okay, so the first thing you got to do is do a real estate analysis, figure out how much it would cost you to buy your dream home. You guys ever watch Property Brothers?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly the same thing. You
Great
go, okay,
show.
your dream home is $900,000, okay? Your budget's $50,000. They don't match that, right? So what a lot of people are doing is they're just renovating their existing homes. It's ending up costing them a little bit less, or the equivalent, or sometimes a little bit more than the home would cost, except they get exactly what they want.
Right.
They're designing it and building it to their exact specifications.
Mo, when you're going to do a renovation, are there some things that are better to renovate than others as far as the investment of your home and seeing the real estate?
Oh yeah, for sure. One thing I wouldn't do is a terrible investment in skylights.
Okay.
I think it's one of the worst things you can do in this weather. They will leak, they cost money, and there's not a good value for them, in my opinion.
Okay.
Very high returns on investments are actually the simple renos. You're not going to see thousands of dollars in increase, but painting, flooring, amazing investments as far as dollar in to dollar out. Major renovations, kitchens, bathrooms, basements, and in specific areas of the city, additions can have a major return on investment as well.
Interesting.
Right, okay. So what about do-it-yourself projects versus things that a contractor should take over?
So here's the thing with do-it-yourself, is a lot of people, they don't really think the whole thing through. They think that if I do it myself, I'm going to save money. But the reality is, if you count how many extra hours it's going to take you, you end up saving nothing. It'll cost you more time than it would a contractor. So I'll give you guys an example. Let's say you're hanging a door. I can do it myself, and I can try to hang a door. It'll take me, maybe 10 hours. And at that rate, I'm only going to make about $10 an hour. If I pay a contractor, I'm paying him $30 an hour, but he'll do it in 2-3 hours.
Right.
So your net result is actually much higher. For do-it-yourselfers, I suggest simple renovations.
Okay.
Right.
don't undertake anything major. Don't undertake anything high risk.
So what are some examples?
Painting, caulking. If you know how to use a saw and you have woodworking experience, you can do some trim.
Okay.
You may be able to change a fixture, but again, that's getting into a little bit more high risk. That's a specialty trade. Plumbing, electrical. Don't touch plumbing, electrical. You know, maybe change a light fixture if you have, again, some knowledge in that. But it's very high risk at the end of the day. It'll take you more time, and the quality will not be the same as if you hire a professional to do it.
You mentioned caulking as a pretty simple, I guess, DIY, but I think a lot of people struggle with what's the proper way to do a simple caulking so that it's not a huge mess and it looks terrible.
So first thing you want to do
I've been there.
I think you're speaking from experience.
You got to hire a pro. I'll tell you. You got to watch out for the nozzle, okay? A lot of people, when they cut the nozzle, they cut it too big. So you have this giant bead. And you can't really do much with a giant bead.
So we'll show the camera actually how you cut it. You did it on a slant, but it's actually quite small.
Yeah, so it's just a small little slant, a little angle there, so it allows you to get nice up and close to the joint that you're caulking.
All right.
Caulking is made for joints or holes, small holes, not big holes, small holes. This is a piece of trim here. So when you're caulking trim, you want to just caulk along the top, okay? Some people like to caulk along the bottom as well. It's your choice. And you caulk air holes from the nail gun.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And if there's any major marks on the trim, you can caulk that as well. And you can just sand it down and give it a smooth finish before you paint it. A tip when you're caulking, have a little bit of water, or you can even use spit. It's up to you. But just dab your finger a little bit.
Yeah.
Go along the bead. It'll make it a nice smooth finish on the bead. And make sure you have a rag, because caulking can get really messy. And make sure always, like when you caulk, I'll show you what happens. If you don't release, the caulking comes out. So you have to release the gun, okay? You press this button, you release the gun, and then it stops the pressure of the caulking gun.
Mo, what a great tips for something, you know, that looks relatively simple, but it's more and more difficult than you think.
And that's the simplest thing you can do. So you can imagine, right?
No kidding.
And adding multiple trades.
And people can talk to you at the home renovation show all weekend long.
Sure. Away $5,000. You can go on our site, ottawageneralcontractors.com, fill in a quote request. You'll be eligible to win $5,000. Come visit us, and we'll take care of you guys as well.
Terrific.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thanks so much, Mo. Pleasure meeting you. Thanks so much for joining us today. Listen, don't go away. We have an inspirational story how over 100 restaurants are getting together to raise funds for a fantastic cause. We'll tell you about that right after this.